time is 6 o'clock. I call the meeting of the Atoka City Council to order. Ask everyone to rise as we do the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Face the flag, salute. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead, bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. We thank you, God, for another day that you've given us, and I just thank you, God, for our country. Thank you that we live in a free country, God, and I just for all the blessings that we have. I pray, God, that we won't ever take those for granted. And I just pray, God, that tonight as we go through this meeting, give us wisdom to do the best of our abilities. And just pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all.
Thanks, Erica.
Appreciate everybody being here this evening. Hello, Ms. Pope.
Show alarm clocks at home.
Would the clerk call roll, please?
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Miss McGee. Here. Miss Pogue. Here. Mr. Caffey.
Here. You knew you weren't going to come in without him helping you out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. We'll move down to agenda item number 2, public comments. This is anything that's not on the posted agenda this evening. You may address the council at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of November 4th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion second. Roll call, please.
Miss McGee.
Yes.
Miss Pogue.
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Mr. Caffey.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the city manager's report. Mr. Delay, good evening, sir.
Good evening, how's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
My report's on attachment number 2, if anyone has any questions.
Looks like you've been busy.
Yes, ma'am.
Recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Miss McGee.
Yes.
Miss Pogue.
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Caffey.
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of the purchase orders for the city of Atoka for the month of October 2024.
Those are on attachment number 3, if anyone has any questions. I went through all those today.
Any
I'll
que-
motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion second. Roll call, please.
Miss Pogue.
Yes.
Miss McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Caffey.
Yes. Item number 4, discussion and/or action to approve or reject the purchase of 11 mobile radios and 6 handhelds for the fire department in the amount of $58,926.16. This attachment 4, and you have the
Yeah.
chief of the fire department. Good evening, Mr. Daniels. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
We had some remaining grant funds that we could use for this kind of a purpose, so I got with the chief, and he identified some items that he's gonna tell us about that he requested that we purchase with those funds. Our balance was $46,826.03, and he's got a forestry grant with $10,017 left in it, which would leave us paying the difference of $2,083. Go ahead, chief.
These radios will be, they're digital capable. That's what everything's moving to, is a digital radio. So we're just trying to step up. When I get the money, I'm trying to pick up some of them so that when we do go digital, we'll be ready.
Okay. How many additional, beyond this, do you feel like you're gonna need?
This will do all of my trucks. It'll fill one engine with handhelds. I'd have to count them up. I mean, we're gonna need, the other engine holds 6, and then we've got rescue and ladder
Okay.
that we put 4 or 5 each in.
Okay.
So,
So we'll
we
have-
still need, 10 or 15 more.
Okay. You know, we just need to keep working toward that goal as quickly as possible, so
Yeah.
you have all the tools in your
Yeah,
toolbox.
this, forestry grant's a yearly grant. I bought 3 last year with it. And, I told Danny last year that that's kind of where I wanted to spend that forestry grant until we got this done.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can find another one to go with it and
Yeah.
get more than that this year too.
Great.
Sounds good. I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please. Chief, thank you.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Miss Pogue.
Yes.
Miss McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Mr. Caffey.
Yes. Item number 5, Discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the Oklahoma Purchasing System Interlocal Cooperative Agreement between Atoka Public Schools and City of Atoka. Gentlemen?
Always
Good
good to be
evening.
back to Atoka. As he's passing these out, just a real quick kind of a,
been
where
a
this is
while,
coming from.
Dave.
Atoka Public School is the LEA for this. So Atoka Public School is the overseer of this program.
How's your son, Tim?
And it's a program from all the different construction stuff that we've done over the years to find us a way to make sure that we're getting quality procurement. It seems like every project, and I know that with the projects you guys have had also, is, it seems like there's at times that when we do the bid laws, sometimes we don't get bids for, you're doing an air conditioner. We may get one bid instead of getting 3 bids. So what this co-op has done is gone out and did statewide bids for numerous different things, whether it's paving, HVAC, roofing, basically anything you can do that's a job orders contract. That's what we went out and done, and we did a statewide bid. You become a member of the co-op, it doesn't cost you anything. In order to be a member of the co-op, the governing board has to approve. If you use it, that's fine. There's 5, and this has to do with Title 61 of the Oklahoma state law. And that has to do with our bid law. So there's 5 ways in Oklahoma to do stuff. You can do it yourself is one way. You can do it through a state contract is another way. You can do it through a lease purchase is another way. You can do it yourself, or you can have it go through a co-op. This is just another tool that we try to give our entities a way to do that. As of right now, we just went over, this week, went over 100 members. And members are anywhere from City of Edmond, City of Lawton, City of Tulsa. City of Durant's done some projects with us. Majority of it is about probably 75 schools. We have universities, we have cities. The county of Grady, is it Grady County? Pontotoc County just did today. Grady County will be, I think, next Monday. So it's continuing to grow. Just to kind of tell you how big this project has gone to this point, we didn't know what it would be. We just didn't. We thought this was something that we could do to help our schools out and everybody that has to do by Title 61 of the state law. Since July, we just passed the $50 million mark of this July on projects being done, and that's anywhere from roof, turf, anything of that nature, lights. Talked to Danny about it the other day. Danny, I hope you don't mind me. I'm going to share a little bit of that. But you guys have been doing a great job on getting your city streets back up. You got a great contractor. Matter of fact, they're one of our contractors that we could use also. But you guys weren't able to use it on that aspect of it because y'all weren't members yet. But now instead of Danny sitting down and spending, and I don't know how long you spend on every procurement deal you have to go through, we've done all the procurement for the cities. We just, like I said, our biggest deal that we've done with the city, we did a $14 million deal with the City of Lawton. And we spent, it seems like, 6 months back and forth with attorneys to make sure. There's 2 main attorney firms in the state of Oklahoma that we deal with school stuff and, schools, universities, and that's Center for Education Law, which is in Oklahoma City, and RFR, which is the big law firm in Tulsa, which is Rostein, Fist, and Ringler. Those are our 2 main ones. They probably represent 95% of the schools in Oklahoma, and that's where we started out with them. The attorney firm that we have is Center for Education Law because it's in the city next to the legislation. That's the only reason we didn't go with the other one. But any type of projects that you guys would have, a new water tower, and once, and this would be a question of Mr. Sandman, is with all the entities you guys have under you, your umbrella, by you guys being a member, that should cover all them also. If they need something, let's just say that the golf course got blew away with and needed a new clubhouse. That would be done under an insurance deal. We can take care of that part of it for you. But I'll stop talking. David, I miss anything? David's the director of it. I'm the president of it, which I know that sounds scary for some of you. But any questions that I can answer, and what we think it will do for cities and schools and universities, it just saves so much time that you're having to advertise and do this, and we already have them for you. And if you don't use it, that's fine, no problem. You're not required to use it. It just gives you another way to use a tool for whoever's making decisions on that aspect of it. It saves time.
It gives us another option to make purchases with, like we're doing now with statewide contracts, Sourcewell, buy board. It's just another option to use.
So what do you think about it, Danny?
I think it's another opportunity for us. I think it'd be good.
And we only deal with Title 61. We don't deal with, like, buy board and Sourcewell, you can buy, if you're buying computers
do
or
equipment and
desks
stuff
or
through
stuff like
them.
that.
Yeah.
We just deal with Title 61, which is the construction part of it.
Oh, okay.
And we're the only one in the state that does a statewide bid that way. OMES is the statewide part of it. They do it in quadrants. So you have a southeastern quadrant of this. We're the only one in the state that does a statewide bid on it.
So y'all just go out and get bids, and do
Yeah.
y'all consider like the city local bids? Cause I mean, I like,
That's the other thing that it does for you. Let's just say, a great question, by the way. So, because we have a job orders contract bid on this, which basically means you can just about do anything. So Exterior Solutions is the company that won our job orders contract. So, and they mainly focus on roofing. Let's say you have a local air conditioner guy that you guys have used over and over, and that's who you guys want to use. Well, we put him under that contract that allows you to use that person. This was really put together for small schools and small entities that sometimes can't get those quality bids. And when one of these companies sometimes know that you're not going to get another bid, they jack their prices up. We prevent that from occurring, so where you can also use your local guys, and we run in like a subcontract under our job order contract. And that's called assignment of contract. And we ran that through the Attorney General. I believe you have information that will go over that with the information Dave handed to you.
What's the difference between this and statewide contracts?
Statewide contract, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know a lot.
Statewide contract covers a variety of things, where they're mostly dealing with construction.
construction.
So wouldn't the statewide contracts have
Statewide
construction?
contract is going to be.
They have
used.
some.
That's what.
They have some.
A little bit, but statewide contract, OMES negotiates those for
Yes.
just various things that we would buy on a regular basis, but, if you don't mind, we're looking at on the next agenda item, a construction project for a stage over here. Just to help us all grasp how this process would work, if we were gonna use you to assist with this, and we've already got some nice plans, give us a kind of a brief rundown of how you would be involved in that.
Here's what it looks like,
Yeah.
Jay, if you wanna look
Okay,
at it.
so the sheet, and Ada just did, I think, a pavilion, and they just did a pavilion for, very two tops over at 8 also. But if you'll look this sheet here, this gives you the steps of what happened. The first sheet is how to become a member. And what we were realizing is, we talk about this, and then we quit talking, and everybody forgets, so we send this to every one of our members. And it just goes to step 1 whenever you have a project. So let's just say, I'm gonna use Danny, since he's the city manager. Danny says, hey Jay, we've got a project, do you have someone that can do this for us? I'm gonna say, Danny, first thing I'm gonna say, and if you don't have someone right offhand locally, or do you have someone locally you wanna use? If he says, yes, I have someone locally to use, I said, have them contact me, we'll do the vetting to make sure that they're bonded, they have insurance, they have all the things that we have to have at the city in order for someone to do a project for us. We do that. If not, then I will call one of our vendors and say, hey, they've got a project at Atoka, need you to go down and give them a bid for that. Here's what they can't do now. If they come and say, hey, I'm not going to Atoka, my response is, if you don't go to Atoka, then you're not gonna be a part of this program anymore. Well, I wanted to bid, it's like, we'll bid it again. Because whenever you did this as a statewide bid, to be able to take care of the Atokas. Everybody wants to do the Lawton and Oklahoma City and the Edmond jobs, because it's easy, that's where most of the bigger companies are at. So, goes back to that part, I'm gonna send them down, Danny's gonna go over the project, say, this is what I want, here's the square footage, here's the designs, here's what we're gonna have with it. This does not exclude state law. I mean, if you have to have an engineer and you have to have an architect, by doing it through TOPS don't mean you get to say, well, no, we did it through TOPS, we don't have to do that. Whatever the state law is, it's the state law is. You have to abide by that. Then you go to step 2, so Danny said, this is who I want to use, and this is, to me, the biggest part of how this all works for us. That the proposal, and I'm going to say, Danny, if this is who you want to use before the city approves this, I need you to send the proposal to me so I can do a compliance. Because when we did our statewide bid, we did it bidding off of a factor, and the factor we used is RS means, which is a nationwide estimator. So, and let's just say that Exterior Solutions is who we're gonna run this under. Their bid was 90% of RS means. So before the city says, okay, we wanna do this, and we sign the PO, I need to have that so I can now send it to compliance to make sure it's at least under 90%. And what that does is for you city council members in the city, they can't jump it up and say, well, no, it's gonna be $100,000 more. No, you did this under the compliance, it has to be done this or you can't do it. That's how we protect our entities. And a lot of small entities don't have, I always use the example of Batiste. down there. I don't know if y'all know where Batiste is. It's a long ways in southeastern Oklahoma. They can't get a bid. He calls me all the time, says, hey, I'll send a guy to you. I'll send a guy to you. They want to do a remodel on their gym. But then you go to step 3, and step 3 is, hey, I called Danny. I had one today. They were $35,000 underneath the compliance. So I called the superintendent and said, hey, your bid's good to go. They were well under their bid. You can cut the guy PO. Once they cut the PO was sent back to me. When I say sent back to David or to Tops, we put it in the system, then everything is now between you and the vendor. At the end of it, when the project's over, we have a 2% fee that we charge the vendor, and we charge the vendor 2% fee. That's how we take care of all the problems that we do.
So there's no fee to be a part of it?
No, the member pays nothing at all. There's no cost to the member at all. It's just like OMS. Just like Sourcewell, you don't have a fee for this. It's just, we do this for you, and we charge the vendors a fee on that side of it.
Do you do, I guess when we start that, we're gonna have bid packets that we provide to you, and you're just doing the advertising portion of that, is
So,
that correct?
good question, no. It's already been advertised. When we did it, we advertised statewide for all these projects that we're gonna have going on. And that's gonna be, so we put that in the job order contract. So I already have someone, we've already got the bid, it's already in effect. It doesn't prevent you from doing that, but one thing I think that would be ill-advised is to bid it out and then reject it all and do something else, because you're gonna have a lot of vendors upset with it. But if you start at this process and say, this is what we have, we already have our scope of work. We wanna use ABC company, because they did the stage for us, they did this deal for us, they did this deal, that's who we wanna use. So we already know they're a quality vendor. Now we have a way to make sure that they're not gonna be able to jack the price up to say, oh, if we're the only ones gonna get it, we're gonna jump the price up because we have a compliance issue with it. So that's how we do it on that aspect of it. And you're not spending, and I hate to say this, but you're not spending money at the paper, advertising. You're not advertising for 3 weeks, then hopefully you have a city council member. We're trying to cut it down to where as soon as you guys get ready to do it, you go ahead and city council meetings every 2 weeks. So on this situation, if you guys are ready to go, instead of advertising for 3 weeks to do this, we're ready to go as soon as Danny has a scope of project with whatever company you want to use. And he's gonna come back, and once the city council says go, then you're ready to go. So we cut down maybe a month to a month and a half off a project that you need to get done pretty quick.
So we take our scope of work and send it to you and say, this is the project that we want.
No, Danny's gonna call me, Danny's gonna call David and say, we're doing this project. Then I'm gonna get on the phone, I'm gonna send the vendor to Danny, or first thing I'm gonna ask Danny is, Danny, do you have someone here that wants to do this? And if they've already been vetted through us, then they're ready to go right now as soon as the city council gives approval on it. If not, then I'll reach out to our vendors and say, hey, Atoka needs this project done. I'm gonna send ABC company to him, and then they're gonna work on this, they're gonna come up with a price. So now, when we get to a bid situation, this is what I would have used it. I wish so badly I had this as a superintendent. When we get to a bid situation, what bid do you take by law?
Lowest.
So, people say lowest and best, but what does lowest and best mean?
Lowest.
It means lowest because if they're
Qualified.
insured,
Well, it depends on
if
what
it's
it
qualified,
is.
everybody thinks lowest and best is, well, no, they've got 30 years experience and he's only got 1 year. It's lowest price as long as they are qualified. And if you go anywhere other than that, you're in a bind. But
But it's only on sealed bids you have to go with lowest, right?
Doesn't
I
matter.
think
it's whatever
that's
y'all
what the
standards is. I mean,
uniform
what
guidance
y'all's
says.
bid laws y'all have?
Well, the uniform guidance says lowest is what you have to go with if, It
Unless
is a
there is
sealed
something
bid.
that you can point to that would disqualify them. So
Yeah,
Right.
if you've used them in the past, you're like, oh, they did crummy construction on this, and you can document that, then you wouldn't have to take the lowest, but it's gotta be
But
documentable.
if you take anybody other than lowest bid, on that situation, so let's just say we have 6 bids come in, the lowest one is 250,000, and you guys have a 220,000 to do this project. What are y'all gonna pay?
250.
250, right? So now in this same situation, this is what I like about it. Danny's got the person he wants to use. Let's use the road guy, because I think he's done a great job for y'all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Jay, is the
Miller
last 2
Asphalt.
times I've, put these big projects out for bid, I only got 1 bid,
Okay.
both times, and that was from that same company.
So here's what I can see, here's how Danny can handle that. This is where it helps him out on those timelines. The guy's name, I can't think of his, Chance Miller.
Yeah.
Miller.
I think they do a great job. We use them over in that part of the country. They just did all the Medill stuff anyways, another story. So, Chance comes and Danny says, hey, we're gonna use this project through Tops. I wanna do these streets, what are you gonna do it for? Chance comes back to him $400,000 and Danny says, can't do $400,000. Well, that's what I'm gonna charge you. If you can't do it for $350, I'm gonna do it somewhere else. It puts the entity in control instead of the bids putting the vendor in control. It puts the ball back in your court instead of someone said, no, I won the bid, you're paying $400,000.
So in essence, you're already gonna know what it's gonna cost you, what the bid, at least one of the bid's gonna be before you even.
I know,
Start.
we call it on the factor of, like, that RS means, it's very similar to Exactimate. So unless you have someone here, who I certainly can't do it, that understands how RS means does, and can tell you exactly what it is, let's say if you're doing 300,000 square feet of asphalt, I don't know if that's how they bid it or not, let's just say it is, and you can go to RS means to say, okay, we're doing this spec, and this spec, this is what the price should be, and then you could go 90% of whatever that factor is that they bid.
So we're not even gonna bid it out.
You don't have to bid it. That's the
Gotcha.
key to this thing, but yet you still get the protection. It's already been bid
But
for
you know what you're gonna get.
And it puts you in a position to say, Chance, I've done 4 miles of road with you. I need this one to be $350. If you can't make that work, then we're gonna bid it out. What do you think he's gonna do?
But we should already be bidding that out anyways. I mean, you can't just go with Chance.
We
just
bid that out.
because.
Okay.
So you bid it out already. You bid out road construction, you know, let's say we're asphalting, we're gonna asphalt this road. And you already bid out the asphalt, so that way we know that there was 3 bids or whatever.
I bid it out.
We did it out to the whole
About
state.
state.
Just,
Whole
okay,
state.
so let me back up, I didn't clarify. Let me kind of clear this. Whenever we do a bid, let's say, and we did what's the name of the company, one paving bid? Director don't know. Yeah. Anyway, when we bid that out, we did it just like you bid it out. Atoka, we sent the bid package out, I took the documents to the courthouse. Pave Connect is one of our paving bid. Okay, so we bid that out, statewide bid. We advertised in the Journal Record and the Atoka County Times. We only had to bid it out in the Atoka County Times, but we went ahead and did the other two, because the way the law reads, you have to bid these out at the local area. And since Atoka Public School is the LEA, we went ahead and did it at Oklahoma City too, to the Journal Record, which is a big advertisement on that aspect of it. We bid it out for 3 weeks. So we did the advertisement for those 2 weeks, just like you guys would do. Then we got the bids in, we reviewed the bids, I reviewed the bids, the attorney reviewed the bids, we did all this together. Another superintendent that's on that board did the bids. The president at that time did it, and had one guy, and I can't remember what his title was. But we all sat down and we looked at the bids. We had this company come in, we made sure that they were qualified, they could bond to a certain level, they had this. Then I took the bids to the board at Atoka, just like we do here for y'all, and said, okay, here's the bids that come in, this is the low bid, and the low bid was not based off a dollar amount, it was based off a percentage of RS means, and that's how we were able to do that. So whoever, on every one of our bids that have come in, whoever's been the lowest percentage is the one that's won the bid. If that makes sense. So it's, but that's how we've done it, we did it statewide, just like you, and we just basically did the timeline so you guys don't have to do it.
Okay, so let's say that we have this guy that you've already got, Payment Solutions or whatever, and then Chance comes in and he says, well, okay, you didn't give me a fair chance to bid because you're going with this other company that's already bid up here, but I didn't have a chance to do that.
Well, so now let's move a little more. Chance has already done jobs for y'all, right? Y'all pretty happy with him, I would guess, correct? Okay, so now we can do something called assignment of contract with Chance going under the company that won the job orders contract. So where we can use it, it doesn't eliminate you from, if you have someone you want to use, you tell me, and then what we do is we hold them to the standards of that bid. So most of us are so used to being the bid is the company. The bid is not connected to the company. On the job orders contract, let's say he bid 90%. So anybody that's going to come in that Danny says, this is who I want to use, because we've used them in the past, then he's going to give Danny a bid. He don't know what the factor is. Once all that gets done, before y'all spending money, you're going to send that back to me. Then I'm going to go check the compliance on it. So then I can tell Danny, this is well below 95% or 90%, whatever that bid is, to be able to do that.
So they're gonna assign the contract from Paving Solutions over to.
Not Paving Solutions, because Paving Solutions won the paving. They didn't win-
Oh,
they
I
didn't
see,
win the job
we're just,
orders contract.
got you, okay.
It's kind of
we're
a
just gonna-
subcontract.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah, okay.
What about the 2%? You said the vendors had to pay? Do we do that normally? Then?
Yeah, not every one of the co-ops is
They,
done that way.
they have to pay any of those.
The members never know about
Sourcewell
that.
Or, Sourcewell and all them.
Uh-huh.
That's how they all.
That's how they
Okay.
get funded.
And that's, the
Okay.
2% is a very standard. I
Okay.
think OMES, I think
Okay.
maybe 3%.
I
They're
think
one of the
they're
higher
three.
ones.
I was gonna say, I
Okay.
think they're three.
Yeah,
They
they're-
used to be three. when I
So,
was deals.
so we're, 33% less, I think that's the right math,
Okay.
than OMES.
So
But-
there's not a problem with the
0.3.
city doing this. We'll have to look at the public trust, because the public trust falls under Title 60, I believe, in their purchasing. It's a whole separate competitive bidding statute for public trusts.
And here's what I didn't know until I got into this, just like the city of Ada, we were talking to them, theirs is, they bid out everything over $5,000. To where in the school system,
Yeah,
we did everything at 100,000, because that's what the state law is. But like the city, the Pontotoc County, they're at 25,000. So what we do on all that is the same concept. We've bid this all out for you, then, so it doesn't matter what if you have $5,000 or what, we've got it all done for you, if you want to go that direction. If you want to use tops, we've done it for you. If you don't want to use it, then continue to do the way you've done it. Nothing prevents you from continuing to do
So
that.
we can be members and still do our own thing.
Oh, absolutely. This is just one of the 5
This doesn't
ways.
bind us to them and them.
No,
only for
no.
project.
Just gives
If it
us
works
another
best for
option.
you, you use that. And it doesn't work best for you at all times. I'm just telling you right now. I wish it did, but it doesn't, because there's gonna be times, we don't do new construction. You know, if you're building a completely brand-new courthouse, we don't do that. That's not what we do. We remodel, renovate, any of those type, like this pavilion type deal, any of that kind of stuff we do. But when you're talking about undergoing a completely new facility that has all the things you're gonna have with it, sprinkler systems and things of that nature, that's not for us. You don't need to use tops on that.
So,
You can do the parking lot, or you can do the lighting in the parking lot.
Well, on a
So
project
Johnny-
like that, if the city's gonna pay for, say we built a new city hall someday.
Yeah.
And it was a ground-up project. We would have to have our own construction management firm to oversee it to make sure
Yeah.
the project was being built correctly
Perfect, yep.
for our comfort level to make sure that the subcontractors, the main contractors were doing their job.
And if you're in a hurry on some of those things, you can fast track it, and Danny can say, hey, assistant, or your construction manager, we're gonna do the parking lot with tops, we're gonna do this with tops. I'll give you an example. Tahlequah, the city of Tahlequah just did a $10.3 million complex where they're doing turf and they're doing different things. We're not building the concession stand and the liquor, and the locker rooms. We're doing everything else, the fencing, the lighting, everything else on that part of it. So you can pull whatever, and that obviously, that type of project has to have your architect. You have to have your construction manager or GC, whichever one you want to do. But we're giving your construction manager that same tool, Brian, to say, I want to use tops with this because I want to use, let's just go back to Chance. I want to use Chance because they did our parking over here and they did the lights and they did a solid for us. That's who I want to use for that.
Didn't he join?
Yes, yeah, he's ready to go.
Okay.
Everything he's got is ready to go if you guys are ready to
He
use
told me
it.
that he was doing the paperwork for that.
Yeah, he'd come back and he had all this stuff in line.
Okay.
so, Johnny, all we need to do is just add that, right, that's all we need to do if we wanted to do that, okay.
Just gives us another option,
Yeah.
another way to
Okay.
purchase things. It's not something that we have to do, like he said. It's
Yeah.
just another option to use there.
Okay.
As always, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
what you
Thank
guys
you,
do.
Jay.
A lot of times, you don't get, a lot of complaints, but I appreciate what you guys do. And I do, one last comment, just for free. I do realize the mayor put the biggest problem people are farther west from.
I know where that's going.
All right,
Okay. Okay, discussion and action on approval.
so
I'll,
at this time, do we
yes,
hear a motion?
I recommend approving.
Okay.
I'll second.
I have
Do
a
we
sec-
need to say a date or anything, or you'll,
No,
doesn't matter?
it'll be fine,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Tim, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
You're welcome to stay. It's gonna be a fun evening.
Sure it is. I don't want us to have that board meeting. I promise.
See ya.
All right, item number,
Thank you.
thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Danny.
Yeah, you do that.
Discussion and/or action on issuing a solicitation for bids for construction of a stage structure in the downtown park. Kobe, are we throwing this one to you? What do we?
Yeah, this is just, last time we started the discussions on this, and, we didn't have the renderings, to look at. So I got those from the,
Architect?
yeah, I can't think of the name, what's the name of it?
Ambler.
Amber, thank you, it's late. So they emailed those and wanted to start the discussion.
Yep. So the stage design has gone back and forth through multiple iterations and trying to get some estimates of early on. This is kind of the most, I guess the term would be the most economical version, I guess, of stage.
Which
And
one?
when trying to make it where it was a multi-use facility. And this can be stepped up or
Are these all the same?
Yeah, yeah.
it's just different viewpoints of it.
Okay.
Looking at stage size that would qualify for larger concerts and things of that nature. And then the screen that you see there on the left would be an outdoor screen that would be used for movie nights and in different marketing aspects for the city but to have movie nights in the park and in the plaza area so that families could come and enjoy that on the green space.
And also, if the, you know, if the school's at a state tournament, you wanna have a party there and show that on the screen,
Yep.
you know, you could do different things with this. Also during the day, I really spend a lot of time looking at what other towns are doing as far as stages go. You know, some towns have that screen that's automatically set to come on a certain part of the day, on these days, and they have yoga classes. The thing just starts, and if you wanna show up and do yoga out there, somebody's on the screen doing it. And it's not just for music, concerts, it's something that you could have lots of different things on. The size of it is big enough. There's other towns that do, you can rent this and bring in tables and chairs and have a reception there under that awning. If you wanted to have an outdoor reception, things like that, that's not just a stage, things that the community could use it for besides just, of course, you want the music concerts and things that come in, but also the things that the library, they have a circuit of different kids acts that come through the library system. You know, try to get on some of those things where during the days, you know, during the summer or on the weekends, you could have somebody that comes in that's specifically for kids, some kind of entertainment that you could have on the stage. I would think that the tourism director would, you know, this would kind of fall under them as far as getting things booked, getting in those systems of these performers that go all around the country. They just, you know, you just get in their schedule when they're coming through here and try to get those booked. I just think there's a whole lot of things you can do with this that would bring people to our town, and also give back. That's always the thing that everyone is always like, there is nothing to do here. That I hear that so much. Give something that there is something to do, you know, we've kind of seen over the last, you know, few years where things are going, you know, and we can do some things here in town. We can have concerts there. It's a huge space that's rated for 2,200 people standing, is what they said is the safe amount there that you could have for a concert. Seems crazy, but that's what it is. It's big enough. So.
And that's, I mean, there has been a lot of effort trying to design a multifunctional facility for, like Councilman Sherrill was saying, for all the different possible avenues of
You know,
activity
if
on
we
it.
could, if money wasn't an issue, which it is, but, you know, how the slope up to it, you know, the grass is going right up to it. You know, at the beginning, there was, in the initial renderings, there were steps, but you know, the cost of that, the steps went all the way around it, which really separated the stage from the lower part, but it's just too expensive. We couldn't, and we didn't even get bids because the Ambler architect guy, his estimates were way too high. We said, we can't You're gonna have to come back with some other rendering to take to the council, because that's not gonna ever
Right.
work.
What's this space under here?
It's, so that whole area drains that direction, so that arched area, is that what you're talking about? That would be for water flow to flow off of the site, but he just added an architectural feature to that to control
leave it all
that
grass.
flowing through there. Also bring up
Yeah.
on the front page, top picture, if you'll notice, it looks like there's two brick walls. That is a handicap accessible ramp in the
Oh,
back.
I see it.
So it has to be long for the grade exchange, so that's the accessibility for anybody that has mobility issues to be able, still be able to utilize the stage and enjoy it, so.
See, it's just-
Oh, okay.
You can't really see that in the picture.
And we're trying to
So that would be the
look
back.
at multiple different placements, multiple different designs, what
Can we
fits
make the
best,
titles
what,
look that
you
nice?
know, what are the pros and cons, and
Build this.
so.
Yeah, if it built that high
And
enough, we can't see it.
they're also in the original rendering, they, I think I showed you this last time, but that's what that looked like. She was asking about what that was, that's just really a place for that water to drain.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So are we looking at a price on this, or?
That's what we want, that's why I wanted to put it on here, we need to find out, is our,
What's
what-
Angler saying? What is their estimates?
I haven't got anything back on this one. The first one that, you know, because I just threw him a bunch of stuff and said, and he didn't charge us
Is
for
Joey
any of these
doing it?
renderings.
Yeah.
Joey did it.
And
He didn't charge us to do any of these, but I just threw him a bunch of different things and, you know, the first one, his estimate was high. I don't remember, because it was so stupid.
Yeah, it was a tragically high number,
Yeah.
so.
1.4 or
guess-
something like that. But
The question I have is on going out to pursue a project like this, encumbering funds before bidding, what's our policy, what's the process?
What I would do, I mean, you have to have an estimate of what it's gonna cost you, and you have to have those funds available before you can bid it out.
Okay,
What I would do with this project, I think, is shoot this over to Jay and say, what can you guys do on it? Cause it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a sloped roof
Yeah.
with some brick walls and, you know,
A slab.
and a slab.
If
And
you could do it,
You
know.
it's Joey wanting to do it or something.
so
If-
I would
mean,
send this to
but, I
Jay
mean, hey,
and see
what
what
I'm
they
saying
could
is
do it for.
That's
And
exactly
then we
what I
wouldn't
was
have to
thinking.
worry about
Match
the
whatever.
whole
You
bidding.
know.
Well, if that's
We
an
would
opportu-
know what it's gonna cost, you
Yeah.
know, ahead of time.
right.
They
The-
can see who they have
Yeah.
Well,
to look at it and see what.
It's
they
been
can
my
come up with.
experience that when you come up with that estimate and you
Well,
encumber those funds,
But that's why I would send it to Jay and
you-
let them come up with
right,
the price.
you never
That's
see
gonna be
anything
your price.
economically below that.
Yeah,
Um,
no. And I just did, last week I did my municipal attorneys conference, and we spent a whole half a day talking about CMARs, or construction management contracts, which we got into at the park. And I would not recommend, after having that training on that, I would not do another construction management contract for this project. If we do anything, it's either gonna go with Jay, or we're gonna do a design build bid contract, and probably do it ourselves, because I think every city attorney that was there has had a negative experience with the construction management contract. And there's really, it's supposed to be no risk to the city, but they had just as many problems with change orders and price increases with the CMAR contract as
Numerous
they did
headaches.
with the
And we
design build
we
bid, so.
received, money from the Choctaw Nation.
Mhm.
What was it? It was a large amount.
340-some thousand.
Yeah, for this, and we can apply for another one this next year for
Do
the
you
same thing.
have,
to help
do you
us.
have any other funds available other than that?
Yeah, that'd be something we would need
Yeah.
to pull numbers together and the different funds.
There's also a TSET grant available if you kind of hone
I
into
just
the
got an email on
yoga.
that a while ago, Johnny. I hadn't had
That
time to read it.
opens-
Mr. City Attorney, I don't know if
Next
you've met our city manager, but he seems to
Know about the
favor,
grant.
favor grants somewhat, so.
We're gonna talk about another here in a minute.
So I
So-
think, you know, That one's not getting awarded till February though, so
Yeah.
that's gonna push you back, but if you could go ahead and get it started, maybe you can get that before
Yeah.
you award the bids.
Yeah.
We've locking in, I mean, I know we talked about some of the different ones, but,
Or use it to buy the screen.
well, and that's, we know,
You don't have to do the
we've had
screen.
several different, renderings and different components on the screen and how that sound system would work, and with a vendor that's done quite a bit of work here locally. The technology in these screens is just absolutely incredible, and the quality of the image is incredible, and if you're having an event of any kind, whether it's a movie or somebody's gonna pay for, just, if, say we lease space on it to do marketing with companies here, I mean, it's a super high def quality image that if they're paying money for it, they get what they're paying for, and at a caliber that,
Well,
and it's
and-
got a great warranty on it, so.
And the, as far as community things, we've tried movie nights with a little screen and stuff, and of course, that's nothing like what this would be. I think you could actually, you would really draw people out with a good sound system, this screen, just show up, bring your family free.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a great benefit to our town.
I know, we were just wrapping up our CNA, our community needs assessment, and our overall top things were senior activities, recreation activities, youth activities. So it's definitely something that that we can show is needed.
Oh, definitely, and it's, in having a facility like that for, it's gonna come at a great cost, so trying to figure out how that use of that space, or any of the space downtown, I mean, we've been blessed to be able to do quite a few things over the last years and seen some benefits from those for new job creation, new businesses coming to town with those dollars that were spent. But, not everything here is gonna get, these movie nights, things like that, that's the community that needs, we need to have these events for citizens, and, if it's something that seniors wanna have a little exercise time or something like that, the space is
Benefit all ages.
benefit all the age groups, so.
And that first number, I will say, that included landscaping, lighting, the sound system. I mean, that's why that number was so high.
It had a storage room too, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it had a, almost like a tower, and
Yeah.
we kind of threw that out there so that you could put security up there for
Yeah.
events.
Mhm.
But it also added $300,000, and so we
Yeah.
said, let's cut that off,
Yeah.
we'll do something different.
Yeah, there was, and in this grand scheme, I mean, this is a step, and then another step would be the exterior lighting for safety at an event, landscaping for the, overall, as we move forward. Again, those are all large sums of money, and it's
And these events would, it's not a downtown benefit, it's a Atoka
It's a
benefit. All the
citywide.
restaurants,
Atoka
County.
any kind
Yeah,
of store is
that's
gonna
something
benefit from having something here that draws people from out of town.
Well, I think we spoke before, about if you incorporated some kind of small interactive fountain into the landscaping, you could use water recreation tax
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
kind
say
of
about water feature.
to do some of, the fountain and some ancillary landscaping to go
Yeah.
with it would help, so. And it gives the kids another activity there.
Yeah, it's, there's all kinds of different options that I think would be amazing to continue to format into this space.
It'd be nice if it was a small amphitheater.
Trying to figure out what the other
No wrong.
portions that we
But
haven't got a
that
plan on
we
yet,
need
to see what that would look like, to know how to
at
finish out that
new hotel at,
western half of the
Charles
green
Hotel
space.
in Hotel.
I think
And they had-
all in
they
all,
had a thing
the
like
overall
that
space
in there. And then they
technically
had a
will
little
handle
amphitheater where you can see
way
that,
more than the
you know.
2,200. That's just a very confined area. There's still a lot of other room. So, not trying to make our officers nervous when we start talking about large numbers of groups, but, and it's, the first concert we had with the temporary stage kind of gave you a feel of what it would look like and feel like, and I think we had a great turnout that night for the first concert.
They show
To my knowledge, we
movies
did,
every
everybody
Tuesday
behaved
and
themselves
Thursday
that first
at
night,
the
and,
hotel.
so, but, and the one thing I did receive a lot of comments on was how safe everybody felt from your presence. The police department really, as they always do, rolled out and enforced to show that they were willing to make sure, not, I guess enforce is not the right word. They rolled out in numbers so that they were seen in the public view and everybody felt comfortable that if there was anything that it would be handled, so.
The problem is you're gonna have to get a set of plans from Joey for this.
Mhm.
Does he have those ready, or?
They are ready.
I believe they are. If there's no other design changes or if the board doesn't
And
want.
again, there was no charge for those, so.
Correct.
Well, we didn't get ahead of anybody. The other thing is, I mean, everything's ready to a point, of course, but it's gonna lay out right across the street, is center, facing west is where, so right, straight across from us is where it's laid out on, but he did not email that layout of
Yeah, the overall.
the overall layout. Just
So
the layout.
essentially from the edge of the concrete on the alley to the edge of the concrete on the parking lot, this would sit almost dead center of that, probably a little bit more to the north, but for the most part, dead center of that space. And would back up, you have a sidewalk still back there, plus the handicap ramp, so it'd probably sit around 15 to 20 feet off of the, 10 to 15 feet off that sidewalk that goes behind the buildings on Ohio and face straight west.
Okay, so what do we need to do here? What action do we need to take?
Well, I think at this point, y'all need to approve the plans. If you're satisfied with the plans, we need to approve those, and then, I guess, get the actual blueprints so we can, I mean, I would recommend sending it to Jay and seeing what they can do
That's what I
first.
would like to.
That'll be the easiest,
Yeah.
otherwise, we're gonna have to
At
pay
least
someone
start there
to
and see where we-
prepare
where-
bid
see where that
packets
goes.
and
Yeah.
Okay.
go
So
through that
we would
process.
approve this, but really in my mind, I don't know where this, I mean, like Diane just said, she mentioned she's got something she would like to see. So we would approve this as our kickoff point is what I'm,
Okay.
and
Cause I
then,
call it see your amphitheater.
and then we'll see where it
type
comes, where the
thing.
bids come back. We may have enough money to do some extra things that we didn't know if we would or not, but, that would be I would
So
like,
maybe we could get an estimate on this set.
on this set, and
Yeah,
then we could
this would
see if
give
we
us a
want, if
starting
there's an
spot.
add-on, we could bring that back, and cause I just don't know where it's gonna land price-wise.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, most of the construction-related companies that I've spoken with in the last 2 to 3 months, prices are starting to stabilize. Some have gone down fractionally, but there are other components of a job site that are still elevated. So, but overall, materials are coming down slightly, so, you know, but with the cost of goods, you know, that labor cost goes up with, so, you know, I don't know that, it's hard to say, some of the projects we're talking about, some of these groups have seen 18% increases for the last 3 years. So, you know, it may be a shocking number, even though it's
Yeah.
as economical as we can get it, may be a shocking number to us, so, but I agree with, if we're gonna go with tops and look at them, I said this would be a fine kickoff to see
see what they do.
what it can do. But I still think we have, you know, if there's some other ideas you'd like to see, you know, if this is agreeable to everyone, say start with this, getting some estimates, and then with those, Diane, you can, if there's something that needs to be an added piece that you'd like to see, or any other council members would like to see, you can get what they call basically a base bid number, which would be what you see in the picture, then you can have add alternates that if the funding's correct, then, or the funding's available, we add other components to it. If it's not, you do this, and then you come back and revisit it at a later point.
Yeah,
That
because
sounds good.
the other thing, when, you know, we took this to the Choctaw Nation to show them where their money, what they donated for, and they were very surprised at the look of it. And so, and we're impressed that I think we could go back, and I think we have a good chance of getting that amount again, since we actually have a project to show them that that's coming, and it's not just going into a
Well,
general
you know,
fund
like I said,
somewhere.
I told Kobe, they have a nice little one at Choctaw Landing. They have a little one outside. It's an amphitheater type thing with the big screen. They show movies every Tuesday and Thursdays. And it, you know, usually it's 15, 20 people out
Sure.
on Tuesdays, and,
Yeah.
you know, so it's
That's really good.
Like, you know, like Kobe said, we've We've looked at about every conceivable design, I think possible at every angle on that piece of property, trying to come up with something that, and really I think one of the biggest savings was removing most of the step downs.
The concrete.
The concrete
Work
work,
around
because
it.
the steps are so hard to pour, but it was an astronomical savings to slope up with sod to there.
And really, her ideas were more out here,
Mhm. Yeah,
landscaping wise,
yeah.
than the
Mhm.
structure itself, so
Yeah.
I think
I think
going
there's
with the base.
a lot of opportunities for some really unique designs. That space is pretty wide open, so it can be really attractive to do something like that.
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we go with this and start getting estimates.
And I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and possible action on approving the chairman to sign, that'd be mayor or chairman? Is this
Well,
under,
the
is
reason
this under
I'm-
AMA?
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be under AMA,
Okay.
and that's how they worded in the
Okay, all right.
rig agreement
All right.
as chairman.
Just making sure. Discussion and possible action on approving the chairman to sign all required documents should we be awarded a rig grant for a Case 580 SN four-wheel drive backhoe. The total cost of the Sourcewell contract is $136,917.92. The rig grant would be in the amount of $100,000, leaving the AMA responsible for the remaining $36,917.92. Mr. Delay?
And so I did this Friday because that was the day they were meeting to go over the awards that they were gonna award. And I was told I would find out today or tomorrow as far as whether we would get this grant or not. Well, I found out this morning early, and we did get the grant, so we're gonna get $100,000 from them on this grant, which will leave us paying $36,917.92 for this backhoe, which will come out of AMA. That's why it's on here, and then it'll also be on AMA.
Okay.
Okay.
Almost to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second, roll call,
That was an
please.
easy one, $100,000.
Yeah.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
What's that?
Can you open that
Ms.
for me?
Pogue?
I had
Yes.
told you.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes.
Trying to get my water.
Okay, as we move down, we have one item under public requested agenda items. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding the use of the plaza as requested by Inca Community Services.
We are changing up the way that we are doing our Toys for Tots and Angel Tree this year. Used to, we always did a party, and we had found, and we had games and prizes, but we found the last couple of years that doesn't really, people don't really like that anymore, or it seems like, so,
Where did you have us prior?
at Inca.
Oh, at your building, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so we had, all the gifts would be wrapped, and then we'd have the party, so that way the kids could come see Santa and get their gifts. In the last couple of years, we found that our economy's just struggling, people are struggling, so a lot of parents would rather pick the gifts up, so that way they can have something under the tree for the kids,
Okay.
which is great, we love it either way. But we do not wanna do the party this year, so instead, we would like for all the parents to come get the gifts, so that way they can give them when they get ready. And then we wanna do a little downtown thing, so that way we can still show that, we're supportive of our community, and, we want to engage the kids, so we want the parents basically to come get the stuff and then come downtown one night and have hot chocolate, see Santa, we'll have a setup for the pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So the dates that we have are either the 16th or the 17th of, that week. The 16th, though, is our city council meeting.
That's what I was gonna say. When you said that, I was gonna say, did you know this?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I told him, I said, well, they probably aren't gonna want me to miss if I can make it, so.
Well, if you want us to be there too.
Yes, and I would like for you guys to come down if y'all can.
What time are you gonna
And-
start?
Well,
This
we-
is December, correct?
December, yes.
So we missed it if it was November.
Yeah.
Okay,
December 17th.
okay.
And then we wanna run it from like 4 to 7-ish, so that way we can have a little bit of daytime, but kinda have some nighttime stuff too, so we can have the lights,
I
but,
think it's perfect time for me.
or 5 to 7-ish, something like that.
So
But we
when
need
are
to-
the, oh, Scott, I'm sorry.
ahead.
When are the gifts due? Cause I know we've got a couple of gifts that, for Angel Trees.
The 17th.
Oh, okay.
Because we will want to give out all the gifts that morning and
Okay.
our baskets. We're gonna do Christmas baskets and gifts all at the same time. So that
Okay.
way parents can just pick it all up and then they're done. They don't have to come back a second time, and then we
Okay.
can just do the downtown stuff.
So we're doing Colgate twos, but they do theirs separately, so, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
this is just Atoka.
Just Atoka.
Okay.
And, we'll put the little angel tree up, well, we put the things on the tree out at Walmart,
Yeah.
after Thanksgiving, cause they want us to wait till, you know, it's like Black Friday. Usually, sometimes they'll let us put it up on Black Friday, and sometimes they make us wait till that Monday. But either way, it works out good.
Okay.
So, and we've already started taking applications. I don't know how many we have so far, but we have started taking them. Ricky Chase is doing his annual, drive for the Thanksgiving baskets, so we're working with him on that, taking apps on that. So, our holiday projects are just running.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, are we gonna have a tourism person by that time? I mean, do we need to start,
It's,
what I'm saying, I guess, is,
I think-
because once, you know, if you do it, somebody else will
yeah,
wanna
well,
do it,
that's the thing, I
so-
think previously, you were looking at possibly trying to get an economic development director hired, and then possibly
It's-
those two people
yeah.
look at the directors.
Yeah, it's however y'all wanna go with it. Right now, I've got 2 applications for.
Mr. City Manager, we're getting onto a topic that is
Okay.
not on the posted
That's a
agenda.
valid point, thank you
I'm
for
sorry.
keeping us straight.
I just need to
Thank
know if
you.
I can use that space down there.
Well, again, okay, so on that, one of the things that we've gotta be,
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
one of the
Okay.
things we gotta be cautious on, like, it was just used a week or so ago, they paid to use that space, so.
Okay, see, that was my other question, was were we charging people, or was it a no-cost thing? Cause you know, I want it for free, I'm a nonprofit. So, I didn't know if we were charging though, and that was why I was asking Danny, I was just like, can we use that, or what
Well,
are we doing?
they had a sponsor pay for the space,
Okay,
so they did, in essence,
What are you charging for it?
I'm trying to remember what it was it 200? I don't
Think so.
remember.
2 or 250, I think.
Yeah, it's
Like a
250
community
something.
bill or something.
So,
Inca will have a sponsor.
I was fixing to say, let's just, not give it to them for free.
Yeah,
And someone,
Hey,
I will,
that's all I was asking a while ago.
and I will pony up some money if you'll pony up some money, and
Yeah.
we'll get a sponsor.
Me too.
so you'll rent it, but we'll.
Yes.
if
Yeah.
need, we'll find
so, and
some.
it's just trying to,
Because once you open that can of worms, you just cannot close it.
Yes.
You just can't.
No, that's fine. I really didn't know we
Yeah.
were charging. So that, like I said, that was one of my questions was, are we charging down there or, but that was what the girls were asking me when we had our meeting last week was, you know, how could we get it? So, like I said, main thing is we just wanna be able to set up and have
Sure.
hot chocolate, something to give the kids, something to
Absolutely.
give people downtown. So,
Sounds good.
excellent.
Sounds
Is
good.
it, and I don't know about a master calendar, but do we need to have a motion on the day of use for the space and the times?
No, city staff can handle that.
Okay, all right, very good, no action to be needed on this item then. All right, moving along. Is there any council comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to
I
adjourn?
make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call please.
This
Mr.
is only the
Sherrill.
first one.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Okay, as we move into our next meeting of the evening, the Atoka Municipal Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. Pogue?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Sherrill?
Here.
Ms. McGee?
Here.
Chairman Kathy?
Here. All right, thank you for staying. As we move down, this is the public comment time. So anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board. Hearing none, we will move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of November 4th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Chairman Kathy?
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of the purchase orders for the Atoka Municipal Authority for the month of October 2024. Mr.
And
D. Lee.
those are on attachment number 2, if anybody has any questions.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Chairman Kathy?
Yes. Item number 3, again, as you know, is from
We
this council
discussed
meeting.
it.
This is discussion and possible action on approving the chairman to sign all required documents should we be awarded a rig grant for a Case 580 SN four-wheel drive backhoe. The total cost of the Sourcewell contract is $136,917.92. The RIG grant would be in the amount of $100,000, leaving AMA responsible for the remaining $36,917.92.
Yeah, I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue.
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes, sorry. Any trustee comments?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
There we
I'll
go.
second.
Have a motion second, everybody's ready? Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue. Yes. Chairman Kathy.
Yes. Move into our next.
Thank y'all, and now I can apply for one for December, that I've got mine.
All right. All right, as we move in the next meeting of the evening, the Atoka Industrial Facilities Authority, would you call roll, please?
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. Pogue. Here. Chairman Kathy.
Here. Again, this is public comment time. If anything's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. Hearing none, we'll go into the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of October 21st, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue. Yes. Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the sports complex manager's report. We don't have anyone with us this evening.
Well,
we got a
Destries,
report there.
Destries is in there.
I had both of them to,
You've heard us.
send us a brief,
Synopsis.
synopsis, there you go,
Gotcha.
of what they've been doing. Curtis has been out some, his mother's been in the hospital, so he's been working off and on some, but I had him to give me a little brief description of what he's been doing as well.
Very good.
I have heard great things about flag football.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has been very positive.
That's awesome.
Destry, we met Friday and, he probably talked about it for 30 minutes. He was so fired up about it.
That's awesome.
Almost to approve.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of the purchase orders for the Atoka Industrial Facilities Authority for the month of October 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. If there's any trustee comments,
You make a motion to
let's
I'll second.
have a motion to adjourn.
adjourn.
In a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes. All right, as we move into our next meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Airport Authority Trust, would you call roll, please?
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. Pogue. Here. Mr. Turner.
Here.
Chairman Kathy.
Here. And this is public comment time. It's not anything that's not on the posted agenda. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of October 21st, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Y'all all want to be.
Yeah, we do.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes. I won't ask, so I'll just ask, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes. Make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue. Yes. Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes. All right, as we move into our last meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. Pogue,
Yeah, here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Chairman Kathy.
Here. All right, again, this is public comment time. If anything's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board. Hearing none, everybody looks riveted out there. We'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of November 4th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes.
Hell yeah, you're gonna
Item
start
number
serving
2.
You're gonna have to start serving dinner. Our bellies are
Item
out.
number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the Economic Development Director's report.
Mr. Delay, if you'd like to talk about your job openings at this time, since you included it in your
Well,
report, you
I was
can
gonna
do
say,
so
I kinda
now.
left it open there, didn't I?
Yes.
So, we've also announced that position, through OML through the end of this month. And, we'll see what we come up with as far as applicants then. And then it, will be up to y'all as far as when y'all wanna set up interviews. and
Should we
stuff.
post it on something bigger, in Indeed, one of the bigger sites for hiring?
It's
or-
up to y'all.
I don't know how many you've gotten, but if there's not been a very great response, we may wanna put it out there where more
Yeah,
people
we
can see
started
it.
out with just local, and then we, went to OML, at the first of the month.
And
But
if
we
you-
hadn't got any other extra ones since then.
You know, if you do it on Indeed, you gotta watch it, but you can reject the applicants that don't fit your criteria so that
Yeah.
we don't pay for it. You just pay for the ones that do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That might be
if that's something y'all wanna do, we could.
You gotta
we
pay
put it
for
on
it?
there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, we thought about it, and then Kelly looked into it, and you had to pay for it and everything, so I
Yeah.
didn't.
But like I said, the last time I checked, the new thing is, as long as you catch them and you reject the ones that don't fit, you know, like if they're from Colorado and you think, okay, they're not moving down to Oklahoma, you just
Yeah.
reject them. And then you just save the ones that are and you pay that, whatever that fee is. And then what about the workforce? I mean, would that be a, you know, they're down in Durant, but they come up to all our chamber meetings. They might be a resource.
I don't know, that's a good question.
Okay, any other comments on the report?
Almost to approve.
Second.
Yeah, I left it kinda brief, since I got a little long-winded on my other ones.
I have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of purchase orders for the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority for the month of October 2024.
Almost to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. All right, as we move down,
Mr. Mayor, I want to tell you that I didn't have time to do it this week because I was at training, but I will shorten this for our next executive sessions moving forward. But I want you to read it one last
Yeah,
time. in the
yeah,
looped
yeah.
So
format.
you learned how to shorten it?
I did, yes, I'm gonna shorten it for you.
death
One more
by-
time.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts, okay. So as we move into the item 5, executive session, we have 2 pieces here this evening. They need to be voted on independently, correct? Okay, so item number 1, an executive session is authorized by Title 25 State Statute 307B4 for confidential communications between the council and its attorney concerning the possible default on two lease agreements recorded in Book 93 of page 374 of the Atoka County Land Records, of potential efforts and/or litigation to acquire retained possession of the property located within the Heavy Industrial Park, Section 1, Township 2 South, Range 11, East Atoka County, Oklahoma.
I think it was 931, but
I'm sorry, what did I say?
93.
Oh, I'm sorry, 931, finger got in the way. Book 931 of 370, page 374. Okay, at this time, do I hear a motion to enter into
I'll make
executive
that
session?
motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Okay, and item number 2, an executive session as authorized by Title 25 State Statute 307C11, all nonprofits, here we go, all nonprofits, foundations, boards, bureaus, commissions, agencies, trusteeships, authorities, councils, committees, public trust, task force, or study groups supported in whole or part by public funds or entrusted with the expenditure of public funds for the purpose of conferring on matters pertaining to economic development, including the transfer of property, financing, or the creation of a proposal to entice business to locate within their jurisdiction if public disclosure of the matter discussed would interfere with the development of products or services, or if the public disclosure would violate the confidentiality of the business, specifically update the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority Board on economic development projects, including but not limited to hotel projects and industrial park projects, and for possible real estate transactions that cannot be publicly disclosed due to the confidential nature of the business.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Okay, we are in executive session. Good. Good. Okay, at this time, do I hear a motion to enter back into open session?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Chairman Kathy.
Yes. Item number 1, return from executive session, acknowledgement of minutes of executive session. Minutes were taken. Item number 2, discussion and/or action on authorizing ACETA to pursue litigation to recover possessions of property located in the Heavy Industrial Park, Section 1, Township 2 South, Range 11 East, Atoka County, Oklahoma. This time, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to pursue litigation to recover possession of property located in the Heavy Industrial Park, Section 1, Township 2 South, Range 11 East, Atoka County, Oklahoma.
Okay,
No.
a motion on the floor.
No, second.
And a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. All right, as we move down, is there any trustee comments? And hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion is second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. We are adjourned for the evening. Thank you.